Hey everybody, we have an Australian Labradoodle puppy birth announcement video today. We are going to introduce you to the 6 Australian Labradoodle puppies from our dipped in chocolate litter with beautiful Mama Labradoodle Tippy and handsome Papa Dakota. And in today's video, we're going to tell you all about the birth experience, give you an update on Mama Labradoodle Tippy, and introduce you to each of the puppies individually and tell you all about them. Hi, I'm Claire from Isle Labradoodles. I'm so glad that you joined us to watch our video. Nothing is more fun for us than welcoming a new litter of Australian Labradoodle puppies into our lives. These puppies bring so much joy to us, and it is just an honor to be able to then pass them on to the lucky families who get to enjoy them for a lifetime of fun and lots of love. One of the really nicest qualities about Australian Labradoodles is that they retain their puppy ways for their entire lives. So even an older Australian Labradoodle dog still plays with toys and does all sorts of goofy things. They're really just the most charming breed that you could possibly encounter. Now this little group of puppies, we had been so fortunate and had 3 daytime litters in a row. Now if you're a Labradoodle breeder, you dream of a daytime litter being born. But Tippy decided to break that record, and instead she had her puppies in the wee hours of the morning. She started off at 1:45 in the morning, and her last puppy was born at 2:45. So just 2 hours, which is a pretty standard length of time to deliver 6 puppies. And she did it all with ease and comfort. She wasn't stressed at all or worried. Tippy is just now looking through the door. You saw her perk up there, and her fellow Labradoodle Mama Orca is out behind the glass doors. Now normally in the maternity ward here we have this solid enclosure, and that's for a reason, and that's to keep our mama dogs more relaxed and more comfortable. And the door is also solid, so because this maternity ward has glass doors, we keep the doors into each of the girls' rooms closed at all times so they don't get upset by seeing our other dogs walking around. Now, if Tippy catches a glimpse of Orca or one of our other dogs, she'll likely growl and be quite annoyed that there is a dog near her puppies. This is a completely normal mama dog behavior. This is actually a really good sign that tells you that all of her hormones have kicked in and she is in full doggy mothering mode. So if you happen to see that later in the video, you'll know what's going on. But with these solid walls, it gives the girls a really good feeling of privacy and security. Now when Tippy's little puppies were born, and our puppies are all born in our bedroom. All our dogs sleep with us in our bedroom unless they're here sleeping with their puppies, and then they are born in our bedroom. And when they're born, the other dogs all have to leave and they all sleep in our living room while the birth is going on. But in this instance, when Tippy's puppies were born, we still had a full house in our doodle den. So we left Tippy in our bedroom. We have this box there for her. We just didn't have the bottom part for it. We had towels. If you look on our Facebook page, you'll see how we set everything up for the birth of our puppies. So we put the sides around for her, and we left her in our bedroom until one of our litters went home yesterday. And that was Sora's puppies. That gave us room to move one of our litters that had been here in the maternity ward out into the doodle den, and then move Tippy in here. And it was really interesting because Tippy was talking, she was a little bit anxious, she was pacing around, she was in and out of the box, and it was because she was not feeling completely secure. Because our bedroom, of course, doesn't have walls around right where the puppies are. It's a big open room, and there's lots of glass so you can see outside. She can't see any of the other dogs, but she could see outside. And as soon as we were able to move her in here after the other puppies had gone home, you could see her, she just was like, oh, thank goodness they finally got me in the right place. Now this is also Tippy's second litter of Labradoodle puppies, and so she knows this is where you go for the first 3 weeks with your puppies. And she just walked in like she was here yesterday rather than having had her other litter quite some time ago. So she's doing a really good job. She's a lovely mom. She's quite, she's got actually a really good balance. She's devoted to her puppies, she's attentive, but she's not a helicopter. She's not over the top with them. She keeps them clean, as you can see, but she's quite happy to go outside, to go to the bathroom already. She went outside with me just a couple of minutes ago here, and she was okay to be out there for getting close to 5 minutes now, which is quite a good amount of time when your puppies are just 24 hours old. Right, Tippy? Yeah. Yes, are you a good girl? Did you have beautiful puppies? Tippy's a very responsive dog. She's very interactive. She talks a lot. She talks to us. She has her own little gentle, sweet, soft voice that she tells you things. And she did great during the night. Just one time, Reynolds had to get up. There was a couple that had lost their way, and so he just came in and put them right back into their spots. So this litter is all chocolate, and that's because the papa of this litter, Dakota, can only produce chocolate puppies, and Tippy herself is chocolate. Now Tippy's chocolate, as you can see, is more of a biscuit kind of color. So she's what we call a dilute chocolate. Now her mama is Ripple, and it's really interesting because she and Ripple actually have this same tone, almost the exact same hue, but Ripple is a sable, whereas Tippy is not a sable. And you can see on her ears here, she still has some of the darker color from when she was born, when she really was a complete chocolate. So some of these puppies, in particular this one here, are going to be this beautiful, interesting, dilute color that Tippy herself is. So we have quite an interesting litter here. I'm just gonna see if she's okay with me moving her one leg out of the way there. Can you just do that? There you go. So you can see we have a traditional party here. We have this little one here we call our Labradoodle. I'll talk to you about this little girl in a bit. And then we have a couple of tuxedos in here as well. And a phantom as well, a try. So really an interesting selection of patterns, and we'll tell you a little bit about each of those. Now today we might not get as much information as we will have in our 1 week update, because it's really going to be up to Tippy as to how comfortable she is with me showing you the puppies and talking about them. Sometimes girls, when their puppies are just a day old like this, they don't want them to be picked up and moved around very much. They want them to be right next up close to them. So, and you can see that there's 5 puppies here. There are 6 puppies. It's Purple Collar Girl, who's the tiny one, is underneath in the back here. Purple Collar has already figured out that she's not big enough and strong enough to fight off her litter mates in order to get one of the spots at the milk bar here. So what she often does is she tucks herself in underneath and finds herself a spot on the other side where she's able to get the nourishment that she needs without being kicked off by her bigger siblings. Now I suspect that she'll probably catch up fairly quickly, but we'll wait and see. She may end up always being the smallest puppy in the litter. So now let's quickly go through the puppies here. Like I said, today's video will not be as long or is as in-depth, and this litter is fully reserved, by the way. There's 6 puppies, which is what I was hoping for, because that means one of these little girls is going to go on to be a hopeful Van Isle Doodle breeding dog in the future. And we only have one boy. The firstborn was a boy and everybody else is a girl. So it's our all girl litter. We've had a couple of litters where we've had all boys but one, all girls but one. The last litter we had is all boys except for one girl. So today we had this litter with Tippies was the reverse. Maybe next time we have a litter we'll get back to having a 50-50 split. So the first puppy who was born is Blue Collar, who's right here, and he's not nursing, so this is a good time to show him to you. We'll just let Tippy take a little check and make sure that she's happy with how he is and feeling like it's okay for me to be holding him. Little Blue Collar boy is our only boy, and he was born at 12:45 a.m. June the 11th, and he was 217 grams. And this little guy is a classic chocolate party boy. Now he's nice and dark, so he may end up staying this very dark chocolate, or he may end up being a little bit lighter. Chocolate does tend to lighten, so one never knows ahead of time. Pretty symmetrical pattern though on his face though. Then he's got really a pretty little set of pattern on his back here as well, with a half brown, half white tail. I'm particularly fond of these two little spots here. They're quite pretty. And then you can see he has a little bit of smooshing here. That's a highly technical Australian Labradoodle term. It's actually referred to as ticking. Now, a really interesting thing about this litter. Papa Dakota has some very interesting color genetics going on, lots of which are not even able to be tested for, and some things that we don't test for because we do like to have some surprises. And one of the things we do not test for is roan. So what's roan? Roan is similar to what an English setter looks like, or some spaniels. So in Australian Labradoodles, because we have a touch of spaniel in our pedigree, that's where the roan pattern is coming from. So it's kind of a smoosh of the dark and the light colors together. It's very much almost like an Appaloosa horse. Very pretty, very unique, and you can't tell until a puppy is around 3 weeks old whether or not they actually do have the roan pattern. So who knows? This little puppy, any of these puppies can end up being roans. But if you see where they sort of are smooshy here, mushed together, rather than the very distinctive party markings, this is more what a roan pattern would look like. So that's our blue collar boy. Thank you there, my beautiful girl. That's a good job. Yeah, you go check him out. I promise I didn't get him dirty. Next is pink collar girl. She's right here. And pink collar girl was born at 1:11 a.m. and she was 220 grams. And she is a chocolate tuxedo. Tuxedo-like, pretty much a full tuxedo. There's one little bit that's not quite the way it should be for a tuxedo if you're being incredibly strict about the definition of the pattern. So you can see on her pretty little face there, she's got that classic tuxedo marking where we have white on both sides of the nose, a broad swipe of white up the forehead, and then that white continues on down over the head, around the back of the neck. She's got the cute little white tip on her tail, and then lots and lots of white underneath, lots of white going up the front two paws, which is the classic tuxedo, but on her back paws is just her little feet that are white. She doesn't have the white up her legs like she does in the front. So technically speaking, that means she's not really a complete tuxedo. Now, as I mentioned, she has, as you can see, a slightly lighter brown color to her, and much closer to Tippy's color. So I suspect she's going to end up being that same biscuit color that Tippy is. But whatever she is, she's a really pretty little girl, doing well, and Tippy's just going to get her all tidied up there, make sure that everything's okay. You can never trust these humans with your babies, you know. They might just get something on them that they shouldn't. Right, Tipster? Next is red collar girl. Excuse me, green. I'm just going to move you over here so that we can get around to everybody. This is red collar girl here. And red collar girl was born at 1:17 a.m., just minutes after pink collar girl. She is actually a phantom with all this white. So many people refer to this as a tri. As I've said in many of my videos, my understanding of the definition for a tri is you must be a full party and a full phantom, which is what her mom is, what Tippy is. But she has 3 colors, so what the heck, we'll just call her a tri, and she is definitely a phantom. So this little gal, as I said, came into the world at 1:17, and she is the biggest puppy in our litter at 244 grams. Now you can see she too has all these classic beautiful markings on her face, white on both sides of the nose, and if you look carefully you'll see she has a little beauty spot here. And now on the side of her face, you can see there's her phantom markings, the tam points. And then she also has the tam points on her paws here. And we don't see much of the tam points above her eyebrows. but those will probably show up at a later date. And then of course we have the markings on her vent there. Cute little white tip on the tail, and then the paws are the 3 colors. She has the tan, the white, and the chocolate. Just a very pretty little puppy, aren't you? And again, she's not dark brown compared to her sister here, but she is definitely darker than Tippy. And time will just tell whether she retains that darkness or if her hue changes to more of the biscuit tone of Tippy. Next, we have our little tiny girl, purple collar girl, who is the smallest in the litter, the one I was mentioning who climbs underneath to get her spot. Hey, baby. And good, she's not attached. I don't like to take her away from the milk bar. You can see how small she is. She fits right into my hand with no trouble. So Perp was born at 1:41 a.m. She is a chocolate phantom and 190 grams, I think, or that might be 198 grams, I think. Reynolds writes down the weights. He does all the weighing when the puppies are born. So this little girl, you can see definitely her phantom markings very clearly here. They're very strong on her legs, across the chest here. Whoopsie, just so everybody, over her eyebrows and on the side of her face, with the fact that there isn't any white there other than her little goatee and the white on the chest. You can see the markings on the leg and the face quite a bit more. Hey, do baby. So this little girl, we're paying special attention to her because she does have a harder time getting on the nipple and she does get bounced off. So we will weigh her twice a day rather than just once a day. And then all of us, all 3 of us, that's myself, Reynolds, and Taylor, will come in and we will come and we'll put her on a nipple and we'll sit and we'll wait with her while she nurses to make sure that she is getting her fair share and fair time. Now, if we find that she's not gaining as well as we would like her to, then we'll supplement her. And by supplementing her, what we do is we'll tube feed her a couple of times during the day just to get her going. And then once she's caught up to everybody else and she's a bit bigger and she can stick up for herself, then we won't need to do that anymore. But sometimes you just need to come in and give a helping hand to these little tykers when their siblings are bigger. Yeah, it's a very cute. You know, the little ones always steal your heart. Every time we that whoever the tiniest is, we all tend to be making a little bit of more of a fuss over at first. So Tippy has one of her back nipples here that's not a very good one. It's kind of not very prominent. And this is where I like to place her quite often. There's a whole ton of milk in there. The other puppies are lazy. They don't like it as much because it's harder for them to latch onto and to nurse from. So whenever I have Purple and it's my turn to get her to latch on, this is where I'll try to get her to go, and because she can get tanked up there really quickly, and it helps to drain that mammary gland as well. You want to keep an eye as a breeder on these mammary glands to make sure they don't become hard and develop into a problem for your girl. But she's not interested in that right now, so I did just have her on there before the video, so she's probably quite full still. Next we have Yellow Collar, who's right here. Now Yellow Collar, you can see, is beside Red. So Purple is the darkest, and then Yellow Collar is pretty close in terms of the darkness. And you can see just the size of Red Collar's foot there over Purple's head. Her foot is practically the size of Purple's head there. So Yellow Collar, oh Tippy, you're just exhausted, have to sleep. We'll just let her release off of the nipple here. There we go. Hello, baby girl. This little girl was born at 2:29 a.m. and she also is a chocolate phantom with some lovely white markings, and she was 230 grams. So she's got that pretty little white slash up on her head there. On either side of her face she's got white, although on this left side she has less white than on the right side. And then you can see her phantom markings right here on the side of her face, inside her ear, in her chits above her eyes there. And then you can see them on her paws. She's got some black on her paws too. Back on the hind legs, and then she's got the little stripe for her feet there where she's got the white, the dark chocolate band, and then the tan points and under her tail. And she doesn't have a white tip on her tail. No, you didn't get the white tip, did you? No, you didn't. So she's also, each one of them is unique. It's not like we can say, oh, this is a chocolate phantom, this is a chocolate phantom. Every one of them has something a little different and a little unique. So it's a really interesting litter. And now our last puppy in the litter is the most interesting of all. And she was just nursing away like mad on a spot where there's no nipple. So this little gal, just take a look at this little puppy and look at this pattern. So I call her my Labradoodle because she looks like a leopard. This puppy may end up being a roan as well. This is a little bit more like what roan looks like, but we don't know yet because she's just not old enough for us to tell. And she has one white ear and one brown ear, and then the two brown eye patches. So we've named this puppy just because she's so unique and so different. So I've been calling her Kipling because she looks like a leopard, and the leopard in the Jungle Book was, and the Jungle Book was written by Rudyard Kipling. And my dad used to read that book to me all the time. So Kipling sounds like a good name. She could be our little Kip, or a little Kipper Softie. Oh, she's just a cutie. So she's really interesting, very unique. I just love it. I love it when Australian Labradoodles present us with something so different and so unusual. Part of my reason for the love of the breed. Even in her tail, you can see it's not brown and white. It's still got some of that smooshing in there. And this little gal was born at 2:43 a.m. and she weighed 235 grams. Yeah, she's just a very interesting and different type of Labradoodle. So she just, that was sort of the crowning touch to the litter where we had her born, and she is a completely unique and different type of Australian Labradoodle puppy. So that's all the puppies in the litter. They're all doing very nicely. Tippy, as I said, is settled in well. Tippy still can be a little bit of a nuisance to eat sometimes. She expects me to come and feed her by hand, which I will do. Her lunch is currently in here with her. I'm going to leave it for a while and hope that she figures out how to eat it on her own and doesn't expect such individual room service. She's doing well. She's no post-whelp diarrhea. We don't usually experience that with our girls because they do eat 100% raw diet. So we hope you enjoyed meeting all the puppies. It was so much fun to introduce you to all of them. This litter is fully reserved, as I said. We do have one spot available in Misha's litter and one spot available in Juniper's litter. And we can deliver your puppy to you pretty much anywhere in the world. So if you're interested, drop me an email at claire@isledoodles.com or just post in the comments here and I'll see it there and I can send you an application form. And we hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up if you have a chance. And stay subscribed to our channel and get all of our litter updates and other educational videos that we do for you. And thanks so much for watching.